Let's talk about materials, then I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're just going to need a regular pencil, HB or number 2 if you're in the States. And a softer pencil, anything with a B on it. I'll be using the 7B. You need an eraser. And this is a blending stump. If you don't have one of those, you can use a Q-tip or some paper towel. Okay, draw 2 squares. You can use a ruler if you want. I'm just going to rough these in. So this is going to be my best attempt at teaching you guys how to draw a full body cow. Okay, now with each of those squares, cut them in half both ways. So you have 8 total squares. So in this top corner, let's just put in an oval. This is going to be the head, and of course we'll get into details later. You notice I'm using the side of my pencil. I'm going quite light here. We're going to darken these lines up later on. This is just a rough guide. At the bottom of that oval, you can put a little circle. That'll be the nose. And I'll just make the jawline a little bit wider on that side. And a couple of ovals for the ears. These top 3 squares will be for the body. Put an oval. You're going to put another oval about the same size. That's going to be the shoulder and the hip. Okay, here's the top of the shoulder. Let's connect those with a curved line the opposite way. We'll go straight across for the back, and then all the way around for the back of the cow. Okay, from the neck, I'm going to swoop down and back up. Now, I don't exactly know what this part of the cow's anatomy is called. Sort of an extension of the neck or just in front of the chest. So the front legs, they're slightly angled together. Let's draw another curved line for the underside. And then 2 more curved lines for the back leg. For the bottom part of the leg, notice how it's a little bit thinner and angled slightly to the left. And then the hoof. Okay, now to the front, same thing, 2 straight lines and the hoof. Notice how far back that front leg is. It's almost at the midpoint. Let's put in the other front leg just behind it. We'll move to the udder. This is a dairy cow. And that's just a curved line. We're going to put the details in later on. The tail's going to come straight down and kind of flare out at the bottom. Alright, a couple of more curved lines for that front leg as it extends up into the torso. Let's start refining the head now. Draw a curve for the top of the head. And that far eye, the one we can't see, you're going to just put a little curve there. Go right across and draw a small circle for the other eye. You can color it in. And hint at some eyelashes with a few lines if you want. Draw a light line for that front of the nose. You can see it's kind of flat at the bottom. Another curve under the face. And drop in the nostrils. The ear is kind of oval shaped. And you can hint at some hair inside. Same thing on the other side. Now let's use those very light lines that we put down and press down a little harder to draw the outside of the cow. You could make some small changes here. Use those lines that you put down as an indication, as a guide. These lines that we're drawing now, this outline, these are the ones we're going to end up sticking with. You outline the tail, come back up, and then drop down for the back leg. You can take your time here. I tend to draw this outline part quite slowly. My pencil moves very slowly, much slower than this time lapse. And I'm just taking my time. Let's go back to the front leg now. All the way around. And a little bit into the torso. I'll make this part kind of dip down a little more and up into the neck. I think I like the idea of there being a little bit more to the underside, so I'll make that slightly larger. as it comes up. For the udder, there are of course 4 teats, but we can just draw 2 here and then assume the other 2 are behind. And then we'll just hint at that back leg that we can't see. I'm just going to assume it's right behind. And outline the front leg. That's the outlining done. Now, since this is a Holstein, they have patterns. They're white cows with black spots. The spots tend to be very random, misshapen, and they can pretty much be found anywhere. So you can make up your own spots, or you can follow the ones here on this guide. I'm just going to add some smaller ones to the legs and some larger ones around the neck. Typically the sides of the head around the eyes are black with a white line down the middle. So we'll do that again. It's that masked look. Slightly color in the nose. You don't have to erase your guidelines, but if you do want to erase your guidelines, this is the time to do it. I'm just using a regular eraser here. You can get a smaller eraser if you want to be more particular with your drawing. Now I'm going to grab that 7B, that softer pencil, and start shading and coloring in the black parts. So as I shade in the black areas where the cow has black spots, I'm also thinking about the white parts of the cow. If those parts are underneath or away from the sunlight, I'm going to very, very lightly shade them. Just work your way through the whole cow. Now, since I'm right-handed, I like to shade from left to right so that my hand doesn't smudge the pencil. Another good tip you can do is put another piece of paper between your drawing and your hand. Some people wear gloves, but since this is just a quick drawing for demonstration, I'm just going to draw from left to right. Shade under the stomach, the udder, we'll have a little shadow there, and last few dots, and I will color in the tail too. Now this next step is optional. It's the blending stick. Apply that to all of the areas that have pencil. This will smudge your lines, give you a nice mid-tone, and this is really effective for creating form. And another step, also optional, will just be to drop in a shadow. Thank you all so much for your support. I do appreciate your likes and comments and sharing these videos with other people that you may think enjoy drawing. If you are a paid member on one of my platforms, thank you very much. I do appreciate everything you do for me, and I will see you all in the next one.